Welcome back, HC Nation. This is Zach Edwards with another episode of Adventure Box Podcast, the bonus round. So this is where we're actually going on our adventure through Peru. And it was such an adventure. If you ever have a chance to go to Peru, go to Machu Picchu, take it. It is an amazing adventure. Now, interesting enough, I just got back from a vacation, so we had a little bit of a break since the last video. So I'm going to be bringing you on day number 3. Yeah, day number 3 of our tour. Now, we've actually been doing, I think we have 5 episodes before this because there's so much information. This one, I actually had to reduce all of the images and the videos because it was getting way too long. We were doing too many episodes. So we've cut it down. Almost 70% of the videos and images have been put away because we just don't have the time for it. There is so much to see. And we also don't want to ruin it if you want to go yourself to Peru and to go to Machu Picchu. But we held the best parts just for you. Now, today we're going to go on a trip. This is a trip through the Sacred Valley. This is the Sacred Valley. So we start in Cusco. We head up this road to Pisaq. Now, I say Pisaq, but he was saying Pisa, just the way that they say it. So it's spelled differently right here, and the sign outside, but it's Pisaq. Interesting enough. Okay, then we went down this river, traveling to see a few of these sites, but mostly we wanted to come down to Ollantaytambo. This is an amazing ruin site. And I had to get rid of 70% of the videos and images just because there's so much there. But again, I got you the best stuff. Then after that, we got there about 1 o'clock. We started at 7 in Cusco and then traveled to Ollantaytambo to about, I think we got there about noon. We had our train taking off about 3. So we had to do all that and all the ruins before that time. And this was quite the journey. Then at around 3 is when our train took off, where we made it all the way to Aguas Calientes. Now this is the city under Machu Picchu. And we ended the day at that point, and we will end this video at that point. But I wanted to show you some of the things that we saw going through the Sacred Valley and what makes it one of the best places to be. Now, Machu Picchu is one of the 7 wonders of the world, modern world. So I am excited to show you that, but also know that everything before it that I show you is near as spectacular as Machu Picchu. Just being there. So, but Machu Picchu is going to be 1 whole day, and this travel through the Sacred Valley will also be its own day. Okay, so I wanted you to see the best pictures possible and the best videos possible. So I'm actually going to increase the size. This is, there you go. This is the Sacred Valley, or this is one of the places in the Sacred Valley. This is about right here, near the beginning of the Sacred Valley. Actually, no, it's probably right here. So we're looking down into the Sacred Valley. Now the Sacred Valley goes all the way up the river to Lake Titicaca and some of the higher Andes Mountains, where the rain and snow melt come from the mountains and come down into the valley, which that valley running through it is what eroded the ground and became the Sacred Valley, the valley. Now, it is so fertile from all the silt, all the rocks and the minerals that come from the mountains with the snow. It comes down the mountain, washing all those minerals down into the river, into the land, all throughout this land. What makes that so important to understand is because of this. I've got my handy dandy book. I'm going to show you. They have over 2,000 different types of, what are these? Can you see them? You see what they are? Potatoes. All different types, looks, tastes, everything. It's amazing. 2,000. Now, what about corn? Corn is called maíz down there, and they have over 200 different types of maíz. They also have other types of potatoes up here. So their agriculture, because of the land being so rich in silt, in minerals that come down from the mountains, they're able to plant these. And it is one of the best croplands in the world. But remember, this is up 10,000 feet in the air. This is in the Andes Mountains. Okay. Now, how did they do this? Well, they also planted it different ways. They planted in the ground like the crop fields, as you see down here, but they also did it up here on the mountains. This is why it was one of the most fertile areas, or sorry, not the most fertile. It produced some of the most extravagant potatoes and corn and such. But let me show you this. What's so interesting about tiered? Why would they do this tiered kind of agriculture? If you look here, this is the tiered agriculture as you'd see it. And they plant on every single tier. Now, why did they do that? Let me show you this one. This picture over here shows you a little bit more. So say you get a rainy day and it rains and it hits this first layer. That's rich soil. That rich soil allows them to plant the plants, and then the roots start to grow out from there into the sand down below. Now, the rain that hits this rich soil basically wets it down so it stays wet, but then it travels. Of course, not all of this, the water would stay in there, so it would travel through the sand down into gravel and then into stone, and then it would be drained into the next tier. So all the water that starts at the very top of the hill would slowly go through the tier and then water the next area. And then that water would go down and water the next area. So they actually, now they were very big scientists. I think we've talked about this so many times in the Adventure Box podcast, that everyone back then, they weren't worried about entertainment as much. They weren't worried about soda pops and other luxuries that we have these days. No, they were worried about one thing. What was that one thing that I mentioned so many different times? Survival. Every civilization, their technology was all based around their survival. So in this tiered garden, this tiered agriculture, they would plant the plants that don't need as much water up here, and then ones that needed a lot of water down here. Why? Because this up here would just get one rainfall. But then all the water that drains from there would hit the next tier, and then hit the next tier, and then hit the next tier. And all of these get the same amount of water going straight down, but the ones lower down get more of the water as it continues to drain until it hits the bottom. So you've got a lot of wheat and, what was it? I can't remember what levels they were at. He mentions it, but they would have crops up here that were very much different down here. Also, it had to do with altitude. The altitude down here and the elements such as wind and rain. It's all different. So they would plant according to whatever made it more viable for the plant. Now, this is one thing that's interesting. Now, you know, back in the 16 to 1700s, right? They had slaves. Well, funny enough, these people, this was thousands of years ago, and they also had slaves, but it was different slaves. These were commoners, or these were people that were captured from other villages. They would be brought in and made slaves. Now, I said commoners. That's right. The second to lowest class, there is actually a slave class, but the commoners are almost slaves to the royalty. Now, some might say that they did it out of loyalty. The royals take care of us, so we need to provide them with food. But most people would say that's slavery because they didn't get much of the food, the royals did. And it got traded to other places. So they did with what they had and gave the rest to the royals. Now this is Pisaq, or Pisaq, as it says on the sign right here. Buenos, welcome. So this was the entrance in there, and this is actually a national monument. So the government actually makes it so that you actually have to pay to go in, because the tourism, they get plenty of money to maintain and preserve this, but also some of it goes back to the government. interesting enough, you go to some of the markets and there's no records kept. So does the government get a sales tax? Most likely not. Not unless they're like established physical locations. But a lot of these markets they pick up their stuff and they put it down when they want to show it off. And they pick it up at night and then they put it down the day that they come back, and it's on and on. So there's no records kept. They take your money, they bargain with you, which is great. I could get things going from like, what, $25 to like $15. And that's not even US dollars. That's, let's see, that's about 25 soles down to 15 soles. A soles, you got 3.5 soles for every dollar. So if that's true, if it's 15, it was less than $5. It was about $4 to buy something that you buy something for 15 soles. It'd be about $4 US dollars. Okay, on we go. So this is some of the great scenery from up here. You can see how far down we traveled we traveled to get up on this hill to get to Pisaq. Now over here you can see, according to Manuel, this is actually where a lot of the porters live. Now the porters are interesting people. They work 4 to 5 days a week, and then they come back and farm their land for 2 days. And then they go back, and this is usually the men. The men do the work while the women stay home and farm and take care of the kids and take care of the household. And that's what they're okay with. Now in the United States, we have a lot of women that work outside the household, and we have women that work inside the household. Now, these people decide that they want to do that just as much as we decide that we want to do it. I don't think there's actually a standard except for society. So there's no law that says that they have to work at home, but this is the understanding between husband and wife. The husband goes out and works, brings money home. The wife stays home, takes care of the kids, takes care of the farms, takes care of the animals. She is actually, interesting enough, she is the chief of the house. The house belongs to her, not her husband. Interesting enough. So, and this might be different for different, but the standard is that the woman rules the home, the man provides for his family. So in this, what's also interesting is the porters, for their 4 days, they would hike, they would carry any kind of tourism or tourists, they would hike and carry the equipment, 70 pounds on their back. They're older men, younger men and older men. And they would run up the hills. They would have no issue running up the hills. If you've ever seen Mount Everest and ever seen the people that are there, they have porters. The porters are able to either ski it up or run it up the hill, the equipment, and you would meet them there with whatever equipment you wanted to carry on your back. But they would carry the mass amount, and they would prepare the camp for you. They would even prepare the food for you, and you would meet them at the camp after you get to that place. But especially Americans, we don't have the ability to do this unless we train very hard and eat properly. Now, the reason why the porters can do this, now Manuel, his mom was 88, 90 years old, and she was still running up the hills. Why? According to Elvis and Manuel, they were very healthy eaters. They ate corn, they ate beans, they ate potatoes. They didn't eat sugar and soda and candy bars and things like that. As Americans, we do not eat that healthy. We have all these processed foods. They have none. They actually make, now they could buy them nowadays, but most of the time, the main staple are those things. The corn that they grow, the potatoes that they grow, and the beans that they grow. Those are the major staples. They might even get fish, but that's just one of my little side notes. Another picture of it. Now the porters, this is the valley that we were just showing you, or the area where the porters live. This is Pisaq. So on here, you can actually see these are the tiered agricultural tiers they used. Now, interesting enough, if you see right here, you're going to see these little, what are these? These are stepping stones. They're built into the wall, sticking out so that somebody can walk up those to get to the next tier. There were not steps like we have them. There were paths, but no steps. As in, like stairs, sorry. There were no stairs. They use these all throughout. And you'll have all these different tiered stepping stones that are built into the wall so the person can get up to the next tier of farming. This is just another view of the tiered agriculture. Very fertile, very moist. Again, if it was even a drought and they got rainfall, the rain would start here, and it would start all over the place, but it'd start up here, and it'd slowly go through the tiers until it reached the bottom. Because the bedding is stone. It's all mountain. They dig down to the mountain, and that's when they fill it with large stones, gravel on top of that, sand on top of that, and then rich soil on top of that, so the water can drain out and go to the next tier. It's great. It's, again, as I said, they were scientists on their survival. Oh, this is another great picture. I love this. So this is the Sacred Valley going up into the tiered agriculture of Pisaq. Got another video for you. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, this is actually their community center or housing or some other structure that they would use every day, daily. And as you can see right here, you have all these little, what they call windows. Now, they're not actually windows because you cannot see all the way through them. They're little niches in the wall. And I'm going to let our tour guide explain that. Now, these are thatched roofs. This is what you would have seen back then on all these huts and all these structures. Except these ones were built by archaeologists, so it didn't erode the stone structure. And if you look here, you can see down here is mud, and then they had reeds or some type of wood, and then more mud on top in order to keep the water from getting in there and deteriorating the walls and pulling apart. So there's a lot here for you to see. And again, I had to cut this down dramatically, and I'm going to have to cut some of these short as well. So you won't be able to see everything, but you'll see a lot.
Inside windows, for example, in the other side, we're going to see the cemetery. It's so interesting. Maybe 20 minutes.
Nice.
Yes.
So this is actually a... Now, Manuel thought it was a house. And as you can see, it's only one... If I can pause this. There we go. There's only one room in this. And as you can see, there's all these different niches. So was it a house? Was it a sacred area? Was it a religious structure? You're going to need to know about those niches. That'll explain some of it.
No, they didn't have mummies in mummies. No mummies, right?
Yes, mummies.
So place there, right here. It's completely different. Even the...
No, they didn't have mummies in mummies.
No,
No mummies,
mummies,
right?
yes, mummies.
So place there, right here. They put small mummies. You know?
Like the idols?
No, actual mummies, baby mummies.
Like babies? I thought I heard him say mummy.
Yeah, in some festivities, no? In some cases.
Human? Oh, wow.
But they didn't kill. Just they gave for babies hallucination drinks, you know, strong drinks, and the babies died. And they, you know, and they involved the mommy as fetal
They
position.
gave the babies a drink that killed them?
Yes.
So they killed the babies.
Yeah.
And people just donated their babies for this?
Especially in difficult times. You know, in the difficult times, when there wasn't a lot of rain for the agriculture, they have to sacrifice.
Instead of babies suffering, yeah.
Pretty ladies, pretty women.
They sacrificed the whole woman.
Yes.
You're telling us stuff we haven't heard yet.
Okay, let me explain what happened and their mentality behind it. So according to Manuel, and history, they would actually sacrifice their children. But it's interesting. You can't just say, "Well, that's horrible. They couldn't do that." Now, if they had actually just sacrificed their children to a god and just said, "That's it. That's all we're gonna do. We're gonna appease the gods or sacrifice, and that's it." That's one way of thinking about it. But that's horrible, and I don't condone it. I don't support it. But I want to give you the other side, their side, of why they actually would kill their children. And to them, it was necessary. Why would it be necessary? Why would it be necessary to kill a child who was just born or was very young? Well, think of it this way. If there's a drought in the land and there is not enough food to go around, they could feed the babies, or if you had the choice between killing the babies and the whole civilization being able to survive off the little bit of food that they had, their mentality is return the babies to the gods, because they couldn't survive at the time. Now again, not supporting it, not condoning it. Condoning meaning support. I'm just telling you what their mentality was. We don't have enough food to provide for the village, so who is willing to give up their life as appeasement to the gods in order for us to be able to survive? Now, when it came to volunteering, I don't think there was any volunteers. I don't know how you would volunteer unless you were like starving. Now, with these babies, to make it humane, because again, they love their children, they didn't want them to suffer. Whether it was starvation, which everyone would have starved if you kept everyone alive, or they gave them a strong drink. They would fall asleep and they'd die in their sleep. So that's how they kept it humane at their standards. Now, interesting enough, there's one other type of sacrifice that I'm not hitting yet, and that will be explained by Manuel. This is actually of the older people that would be sacrificed. It wasn't just babies. This one is very interesting.
It's completely different. Even the stones. In Cusco, they're just different rocks. In Pisaq, different stones. Yeah? Well, my friends, so please have a look, yeah? This small room is so interesting because it's one of the interesting places in this archaeological site. Yeah, we're in Pisaq. You know, the Inca archaeological site is called Pisaq. Yeah, the same name for the colonial place or colonial town, which is down there. Yeah, if you look at the windows, look at the windows. It's still the locals, outside surrounding the Inca site. There are local people. Like 2 days ago, we celebrated the winter solstice. Not June 21st. June 21st is probably the best day during year in my culture. In the whole Peruvian region, especially in the mountains, because it's the beginning of the new Andean year, or the beginning of the new Quechua year, June 21st. That's why early in the morning, the locals in the mountains, in the jungle, we were happy to see the sunrise early in the morning. Look up. Locals live coca leaves, engraved. Yeah, my ancestors, Incas people, they didn't have religion. The reason why Incas sacrificed pretty women or babies, it was to be engraved, not to worship. Yeah, that's why they respect the nature. Yeah, Incas respect the Mother Earth. In my culture, we call Pachamama or Mama Pacha in Puno, de Salvador, Bolivia. Yeah, that's why in some cases they sacrifice animals too. And still, the locals are sacrificing animals now. Black alpacas, black llamas, black guinea pigs. No petty women. Yeah? Probably you heard about National Geographic. Yeah, National Geographic. They are doing several expeditions in whole South America, mostly in Peru, in this region, in Cusco. Remember, Cusco was the capital of the civilization. When we're talking about the Incas, we have to talking about whole South America, because the Inca civilization were a lot of cultures in different parts in South America. And National Geographic is looking for new evidences to show us. In this case, they are climbing the glaciers in South America, in Cusco. The reason why scholars are climbing the mountains is to looking for mummies. Aconcagua is the highest mountain in South America, in Argentina, almost 7,000 meters. 25 years ago, a professional from National Geographic, no? His name is Johan Reinhardt. If we are lucky, we're gonna see him in Machu Picchu tomorrow. Yeah, he's making a lot of investigation about my culture. For example, this building he found 12 years ago. He was exploring around here, and he decided to restore this area, and he found this building. Yeah, we see a lot of small windows. I mean, especially right here in this window, other windows. Once they began to restore, to clean in this area, they found 3 small mummies, skeletons, as fetal position. And they believe, in difficult times, Incas people sacrificing people, babies and pretty women. Because why Incas sacrificing women? The woman was the representation of the Pachamama. That's why they choose the pretty women in different towns to sacrifice. They gave hallucination drinks for ladies, and the ladies slept plenty of hours, 5, 6, 7 hours, and people climbed to the summit of the mountains. They have to open the eyes and put the body. Imagine how difficult it was for ladies when they woke up. It was very difficult. And there are evidences now, my friends. I'm gonna show some pictures. Don't be afraid, please. Yeah, we don't gonna sacrifice somebody. Yeah, please. The weather is good, perfect weather. Just in. Look at the picture. Yeah. Look at the picture. Look at it.
Did you say they put them in the ice? Were they still alive in the ice?
Imagine how difficult it was for the ladies, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They buried him alive.
Yes.
Why?
It was a sacrifice to
So
Especially
they lived like
in difficult
Mother
times,
Earth and
when
Father
there wasn't a
Skies
lot of
and
rain.
if
Remember,
there was like a drought,
Incas
they would
were farmers.
try to get more
The
rain.
most activity for them was the agriculture. That's why they reverence the mountains, the sky, the Milky Way. They have to observe the whole year, the skies. There wasn't sophisticated technology in the ancient times. No cellular, no Instagram, no Facebook, no Google. That's why they have to observe the sky, the Milky Way, especially in the night. Yeah? Any questions so far? We're gonna visit the other side of this Inca archaeological site. It's interesting.
Want to go up there?
The Inca cemeteries and the agriculture terraces.
Did they sacrifice him to Pachamama then? Like thinking that because of whatever, they had a famine or whatever, that she accepted and then they'd have a plentiful following. Did the women
Pisaq.
volunteer for this?
No. They have to choose.
Were they voted on?
BIS. Q-U-E.
chose?
Yeah, how did they get chosen, the young woman?
In this case, the leaders.
The leaders chose
The
the young
leaders.
woman.
Q-I-E.
Yeah. The
Q-U-E,
Inca was
sorry.
just the king,
Or
not the whole
Q-U-E.
people. Once Spaniards got Peru, they never understood my culture. And they called my ancestors Incas. But the Inca was just the leader, the president, not the whole people. No, they were Quechuas, because Quechua was the universal language in whole South America before Spaniards came this continent. That's why still in different parts in South America, people speak Quechua. Do you know Quito? Quito is the capital of Ecuador. Cuenca, people speak Quechua. In Colombia, Santa Marta, no, Cúcuta, they speak Quechua.
How many months were they when they tried to kidnap, catch whatever it was to put them in the ice?
So
How far
sacrifice.
along were the women? Like how pregnant
How
were
old?
they? Do they know?
No, we don't know exactly now. Yeah, no, they are finding, for example, last year near Machu Picchu there is a huge mountain which is called Salcantay. There are two anthropologists for Harvard University. They climbed to the summit and they found a mummy, and they carried it to United States. You know, they are studying now the mummies because it's so interesting. You know, when they are looking the skeletons, very strong. You know, imagine 800, 900 years so far, staying on the sky over 20,000 feet, you know, 19,000 feet. But the reason why the mummies are conserved in good condition, the food, Incas eating organic food, mostly maize, corn. That's why we see a lot of agriculture terraces. That they were eating all the time maize, breakfast, lunch, dinner, no chicken, no beef, just alpaca, you know, and guinea pig. On the classical Inca trade, no, there is a famous trade to Machu Picchu. There are porters, there are, you know, mountain people. They carry 50, 60 kilos in their back, and they run on the way up, on the way down, because they eat organic food. A lot of maize, quinoa, and quinoa.
Do you ever get tired of maize? It's like a lot of
The pregnant women they found, did they find any pregnant women mummies yet? And they found, and they were, so they just see that they're pregnant with the babies inside, but they can't tell how far along they were.
Yes, exactly.
So did they only sacrifice pregnant women?
And babies.
Yes.
great system.
Yeah, huge.
In the sacred valley.
You said that,
Okay.
Terraces too.
you said there's about 2,000 different versions of mace.
Different environments.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
colorful.
Different environments. You know, in the jungle, have you tried chicha morada?
No.
The purple corn, the famous.
Oh, purple corn.
Yeah,
Not from here.
this one.
Oh,
For example, this corn grows in the jungle, not in this environment. It's like sweet potatoes, no? Jungle potatoes. Incas studied the environment. In this case, Incas studied the Andes mountain. That's why, you know, they improved the agriculture, building agriculture terraces. On the terraces, they improved the agriculture. You know, the terraces they use as botanical laboratories to domestication. For example, maize is not originally from Peru. What is the origin of the maize?
Made.
Exactly, Mexico and Guatemala. Like, you know, avocados, Mexico, Guatemala. You know, in the ancient times, the culture exchanged the technology. That's why scholars believe people from Mexico, Guatemala, they came to this continent, to Peru. And quinoa. This environment, have you seen the community? Quinoa. Quinoa is origin for this
quinoa.
region. Yeah, quinoa. It's very tasty.
Mm-hmm.
It can be the Peruvian rice in the communities. Locals eat every day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner too. Every day quinoa, maize. And the other one, potatoes. Peru is the country of the potatoes. This region, the highlands. Yeah, but it depends the environment. For example, the best potatoes the locals produce over 4,000 meters. The purple one and the yellow one, the Peruanita potatoes, the best potatoes around the world. 100% organic. That's why when you have you been in San Pedro Market?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen potatoes? Most food in San Pedro Market are organic, smaller, no?
Yeah.
When it's smaller, it's easy to recognize. The product is organic. Today, at the lunch location, the food will be organic, my friends. Yeah? Vegetables, quinoa, potatoes, is the locals are producing this region. We see a lot of terraces. Yeah? I was talking with him, probably Incas were the best farmers around the world in the ancient times. They improved the agriculture. That's why once Spaniards got this continent, they were very happy because they found potatoes in South America, maize, quinoa, and they introduced Europe. We are lucky in South America because the responsible why there are diverse ecosystems, the Andes mountain. That we're gonna see the Andes before we get Ollantaytambo, severe snow-capped mountains. Yeah? Any questions so far? Everything is clear? Vamos al otro lado, ¿sí? This way, please.
Okay, so I hope you understood that. There was a lot there. He talked about a lot of different things. But everything from the woman sacrifice, they would plant them into the ice, that they were actually still alive. Interesting enough. Now, that's, again, from what the archaeologists say. Were they actually alive? Don't know. Because if you put them in a hole in the ice and fill it up, cover them up, they won't really be able to wake up. I mean, I don't know. Hypothermia would probably kicked in a long time before you wake up, because it was, they drug you for 2 hours or 3 hours. Yeah, I don't know exactly. And again, like we always say, I don't know, you don't know. We weren't there. Neither were the archaeologists, neither were the historians. This is just the best that we can do. Okay. Now, continue on through Pisaq, or Pisaq. Let's show you this video. This just shows you a little bit more of the tiered structure. It's very, very beautiful, this land. Okay. Here we go. There's a better part of it. See all the ruined buildings up above that's here? It's because they actually live in that area. Now, the next video is pretty sad because it's gone. And the only reason why I put this video in here is because I wanted to tell you about it. This was like the best video of the whole trip. It's when we were walking down a path and we had some alpacas next to us. There was 2 alpacas, a brown one, white one. And I'm behind the whole crowd, just all of my associates. As they're walking up to the upper area, they get around the alpacas and continue walking. The alpacas are very slow at times. Well, this white alpaca did not like that he was behind the humans, and he decided to try to get ahead. But instead of going around the humans, he or she jumped on top of one of our associates as they were walking, and the video is gone. It was so sad. I shared it with everyone. Everyone saw it. Everyone got some good laughs. But when I was trying to transfer it over, it was destroyed. It was corrupted. And I don't have that video anymore. If I ever find that video, like somehow, if I take my phone, go into the data and try to find out where it might have been, maybe I'll be able to show it to you. But I apologize. That would have been a great video to show. That's like a funniest home videos type of movie. So this was the village that was on top of the hill. Now, not village per se. It was more like a house of, or houses of a few people that would take care of the tiered agriculture from the top. But there's so much more to this area than meets the eye. If you can see, it almost looks like a castle, but it's not. This is literally where the royals might have been at some point, visiting at some point. It might have also been just where the people that were working on the tier were taking care of that land. Not 100% sure. That was not specified by Manuel. There's different theories of what it is, but okay. Then moving on to the next one.
Because you probably went back down to the town to inspect and then-
Plus, these are alpaca and they don't spit.
They are alpacas. Do they not spit?
Llama spit as a defense mechanism.
I know that from Minecraft, actually.
Yeah. It's like just like a dog. No? Oh, sorry. Did I insult you?
What was that?
You didn't let me scratching his back.
He's looking at me all weird.
Okay, and this is another view of those buildings on the hill. So a lot of stairs reaching up to this area. And again, most likely it was actually people that were taking care of the land that lived in these villages that were on top of the hill. Less time to go down, up and down, take care of it all day long. So this was not a resort, as we'll show you. Oops. Keep it going. The path's up there. As you can hear my breathing, it takes a little bit out of me walking up. And again, remember, this is about 10,000 feet up. Okay, I have to, let's go back. I gotta show you this. Okay, look at this right here. Look how straight those walls are. They're not like you'd find in Ireland when they're putting walls outside outside their land, trying to block off the sheep from getting out of their land. No, no, no. These are like smooth on the outside. Smooth in the sense that all the rocks come together, that you can actually just push your hand right across. And it's not just smooth on the outside, it's also smooth on the inside as well. So these were master stonemen. I mean, seriously, we do have people that do that these days, do this kind of quality this day and age, but with tools, with actual tools that are modernized, and compasses and straight lines. Well, they might have had straight lines back then too, but it's absolutely amazing how advanced they were in their building. Now, of course, they weren't building sky rises. They were building stone walls, but no mortar, and being able to place them so that they'd actually sit smooth with all the rest of the rocks. It's amazing. On both sides, inside and outside. Let's keep going. Now, if you look over on the other side, you're going to see this hillside.
Oh, little
Now,
caves.
looks like a little regular hillside. But as I mentioned, there's caves. There's a little bit of tiered agriculture there. There's a little hut there. This is not what it seems to be. It is fascinating. And I'll actually let our guide tell you more about it. No, not yet. We'll skip that.
For the royal class.
Here we go.
No, for the leader.
Oh, so the
Yeah,
building's
this-
like the nice
Mausoleum.
mausoleum, and the little holes are the
For
commoners.
farmers, weavers. Yeah,
Do they still have like mummies?
Have they
Wall of
found bones
cemeteries.
in there?
yeah. But most of them were destroyed by Spaniards
Oh.
because, you know,
Would these mummies be pulled out at any point for a celebration, like they did?
now, yeah, in some places, but not in Pisaq.
Okay.
Yeah, in Cusco, for some, there is a mummy, el niño compadrito. He's a Inca mummy, actually. But the people in Cusco, they believe in the man. And every day they go, no, early in the morning to leave some flowers. But the the Catholic religion, in this case, no, they want to destroy the mummy because they say no. Why the locals of the Peruvians, the mummy? Because it's not part of the religion or the Catholic religion. That's why the mummy is staying in a, in a home.
Like a coffin or a
Yeah,
mausoleum?
yeah.
So instead of not, they wouldn't destroy them; they bury them, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They wouldn't desecrate them.
If you explore along the valley, along this valley,
There's more.
you see more cemeteries.
Are you from Cusco?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I live in the Sacred Valley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like 20 minutes from Pisa.
And are most Peruvians Catholic then?
Yeah, most people, however, people believe in the Pachamama. But I believe in the Pachamama.
So are you Catholic too?
Yeah,
Okay. But both.
yeah. But we don't believe in the,
All the
I don't go
idols?
to the Catholic temple. Just we believe in God, no? But we prefer
Nature.
stay in harmony with the nature. Because this
Mother
is my
Earth.
culture.
So like God and Mother Earth,
Exactly.
Father and Mother.
Exactly. You know the yin yang,
Yep.
no? Duality.
Yin Yang. Yeah. Jing Jing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why, for example, 2 days ago, we make a lot of rituals. For example, in my community, especially in the night, no, with the parents, the gaps, the mother air, the mountains. So we cook a lot of food under land. My mom killed 5 guinea pigs and 2 chickens, and we open the land and we cook the food. That was our
Offering?
offering to the mother air. In grateful. Yeah.
Yes. That's for like the leader, dude. All the other like little holes.
Keep going.
Okay, so let me explain some of the things. So that wall, that cliffside, is actually a cemetery. They built their cemetery into the side of the cliff. They make little caves, they put the mummies in there, and when they wanted to or needed to, they would pull them out for a celebration or to talk with them, counsel with them. That's what they used to do. This area right here that he was pointing out, this is where the royals would be. This is like a mausoleum. So they'd have a tomb for the royals to live in right there. The wall of caves is for commoners. So very different, very interesting. But you can see the classes that are there. Royals versus commoners. And he said that all around this valley, there are cemeteries that they've excavated throughout the years. Now, another thing that they're talking about is that they have a Pachamama, which you heard before. They also have a Papa Pacha, which does not mean Father Earth. It actually means Father Sky. Now, they believe in a Mother Earth, Father Sky. Like he was saying, a yin and a yang. You know, the old Japanese symbol, yin yang, or Chinese symbol. Can't think of it right now. Okay, either way. So there's it's nature. There's a female and male, a masculine and a feminine. All these show up in so many different ancient civilizations. Okay, going forward, here's just another view from this angle, from the other side of the agricultural tiers. This is inside one of their huts. Again, it could be for living, or it could be a religious building. But the funny thing is, every building has these niches where you put mummies and idols. So I just think it's actually just it's a place for all use. Like they have these things in all these different areas because they believe in it so much, which would again make me think of, oh, it's a religion. Yeah, you hear my breathing. It's pretty hard up that hill. Now, I thought this was interesting. Look right in the middle. This piece of rock. They built their huts right into the mountain, even if they had rock there that they couldn't get rid of. So they'd have to live probably on both sides of it. I don't know how it was all set up, but maybe they had curtains that go between to make separations between different rooms. Who knows? But like every building, they had the niches, the same niches that were in every single building. And you're going to see that in Machu Picchu as well, and some of the other ruins that we've gone to. So that's another, I love this pano picture. Okay. This is showing the cactus that grow on the mountainside and the different vegetation that's growing up it. Yeah, the llama was getting a little hot. I mean, it's got to be hot under all that llama fur. So it found its safe place in shade. This is just the white one. I think the brown one was still out getting close to people, and yet if you watch that video again, he doesn't like you touching him. Okay, so for lunch, this was interesting. We came out, we got to try out all different delicacies from this country. So we came to this restaurant where they had a buffet for like all the tourists. But they had everything from, look at that, they had sushi. Yes, they actually have sushi, but it's based on their own fish. So the trout from the lakes and the rivers. It did have seaweed. Where would you get seaweed? Oh yeah, from the coast of Peru. It has rice. They have rice there. And then different seeds. Or actually, I think the soy sauce on top of the rice. So I think it's probably a mixed recipe. But also a lot of potatoes. You had alpaca meat. You had different noodles. More potatoes. Potato fries. So, yeah. Potato chips. Sorry, not potato fries. Potato chips. And I don't remember what that was. But yeah, I mean, the food was amazing there. Because Rex is insanely good at that. Have you ever played Rex against Super Smash Bros? He will kick your ass. I know, right? It's like, you try, but he can... I've gotten a lot better, but even then I still can't beat him. I still have gotten a lot better. I still can't. Sorry, my companions were just a little noisy, but I wanted you to get an understanding for the Peruvian music and possibly the ancient Incan music. So that pan flute, it supposedly originated in Greece, but they have found it as far as China and also the Americas. So the Incas actually used the pan flute and would make beautiful music as their type of entertainment in this world, in this area of the world. So I thought that would be an interesting thing for you to hear, to get a little taste of what kind of music they actually played. Now, I love this place. This is called Ollantaytambo. Ollantaytambo is another set of agricultural tiered farming. But it's got something very interesting here. So you have this one over here, which is the shape of, I think, the panther. And then, no, this one is the llama. So the tiered farming land is actually built to the shape of a llama. And this is actually one other one, but it's a walkway. It is actually a stone walkway up to a temple. Now, what's really interesting about this temple, and we'll get more about this when we get up there, this temple is actually pre-Inca. So it is not Inca from thousands of years ago. It's before the Incas.
Exactly behind you too.
Look behind you. Oh, I know, I saw it. So I'm giving you a 360 view of what we saw. Now get this hill. The buildings up on that mountain are all silos. They store food. They store the wheat, they store the potatoes, they store the corn. Everything that they grow down below gets stored up there. And why? Because there's a certain amount of wind that goes by it that makes it cold all the time. Interesting. When the sun is beating down on it, there's so much wind coming around that it actually cools off the stones, which cools off everything inside. Again, every type of technology that they have is based around their survival. So, interesting. Now, there's some other things that are really cool about that hill, and you'll get that in just a second.
The pre-Inca building. Once Incas arrived to this part of the valley, they found a small group developed in this valley. Yeah, evidences. Once we're gonna be out here, we're gonna see more buildings in the other side. Pre-Inca building.
Yeah, it's all part of it.
Before Incas, there was a lot of civilization developed in different parts in Peru. Those civilizations are called now pre-Incas. Yeah, they developed before Incas, no? 1,000 years before Incas, 500 years before Incas. Have a look at the mountain. Yeah, look at the mountain. Should you recognize a face? There is a face in the mountain. Should you recognize the face?
Okay.
Miss, are you okay?
Hey, Laura and Cody, can everybody just lean forward just a little bit so that she can take a picture of us as a line, please?
Could you recognize the face in the mountain? Can you see it? Do you know where it is? It is right here. Now look again. Do you see the face? The hat, the eyes, the nose, the mouth. You see it? So silos here, silos up here, silos here. So all the food that comes from this hill that I'm on, has to go through the valley and up into those silos. And this is the guy who is protecting it. You might think that's funny, but check this out.
Who is it supposed to be?
You see him now?
He's Tunupa, yeah? He's Tunupa.
Okay,
Once you're gonna
now try
visit
this.
Titicaca,
Now try this. Let's see, I just found him. Oh, I found a picture of the mummies. So the mummies are always in the fetal position, which means they're curled up with their legs up near their face. Fetal position, like you would find in the womb when they're returned to the earth. And then these ones are more preserved. These are the ones that were found in the glacier up in the mountains. Now, as for this guy, let me see if I can find him. Oh, here's, like I was saying, it's the shape of a llama right here. So the back end of the llama going up to the head of the llama. Now, is that actually what they designed? Maybe not. Just what someone found up from it. And then, oh, here he is. Let's see if I can get this right. So this one shows you the face. This one shows it from far away. But check this one out. There he is again. There's the guardian of the mountainside. And there's another look at it. See the two? The guardian of the mountainside. And then there he is again. Isn't that cool? Okay. So I just wanted to show you that was an interesting thing that I had seen. Now, when they were doing celebrations here at the tiered temple, this is actually a temple at the top. They'd have celebrations going along it. Now, was this actually happening during Incan times? No one knows. I mean, I think they suppose that it did, but who really knows? Nobody. So, let's keep going.
natural, are you sure? No. It's natural.
That's not.
It's difficult to carving, you know? The mountain looks stiff, it's difficult to carving. Yeah.
Who's doing that?
The face.
Did you see the face? Yeah? The face
here.
is the representation of
Just to the
Tunupa.
left. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Tunupa.
Better not mistake it.
Tunupa.
She is including the
Talupa.
Yeah, in Puno Titicaca.
And there's the ancient ruins right there. The pre-Incan ruins.
No.
Okay, here we go. There's one more view of it from the mill. So you can see the aspects of it. I mean, this was an amazing set of ruins. It was destroyed by the Spanish, but they were able to restore it to what it is today. And again, more vegetation coming from off the hill. And there are people that live up on these hills. I'll show you a better picture of that. There's the stepping stones I was talking about. So these are built into the wall so they can actually step up, step up, step up, up, and to the next tier. And same thing here, and the same thing here. So it was on the tiers because you did not have steps, stairs, like we have today.
So this portion was held for temple. You see all the stones made by the Incas? It's not. The difference between these tiers of agriculture and the ones behind me are the fact that these were actually preserved for sacrifice and for the shaman that were here. On the other side, you have small rocks, which was more agriculture made for the common man. And they'd walk it down the hill, through the valley, and back up to those storerooms that are right behind, right in front of you, right there. From these small ones, and further up, and further up. They use that for two reasons. One, so that you could keep from thieves, but also because those were those opportune areas with the breeze coming through, it would cool down the rocks, which would keep the food cool, the maize, which is corn, and such. But all this, these crops on these tiers were saved in the temple for religious ceremonies. Though they don't say they're religious, it just means that they don't have a organized religion. They believe in Mama, Pichamama,
Pachamama.
and Mother Earth.
So would these originally been open?
So they still them on
proceso de ser desgastadas. ¿Sí? No los cortaban en totalidad porque muchas veces si lo cortaban en totalidad se fracturaba toda.
You were asking me this. There was a wall.
You said there was a wall here?
¿Preguntas? ¿Dudas?
Oh.
Those stones are down
Ok,
there.
pues
Oh,
sigamos,
no,
vamos a ir a ver una arquitectura bien asombrosa en este lugar. ¿Ah? Síganme, por favor.
It's like a weird place.
Yeah, they do.
It's weird.
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
Why are you all, how you say?
So these temples were amazing places, but I got to show you this next part. Oops. There we go. This was the ancient temples. Now, we weren't able to actually step out there because it was unstable. But these were 2,000-3,000 years ago. This was built in about 2,000 to 3,000 years before us now. So about 1,000 BC. And so even though the rock walls are still there, even after all that time, it's unsafe for tourists. This is one more view. I love these pano images. And this actually shows the same thing with these walls, the Incan walls, put together so well that you didn't need mortar. And so you could actually put these walls together like Legos, building blocks, except they had grooves inside like Legos, so they click together. And so when the earthquake comes, it shakes together, but it does not fall apart. Unlike a wall where you just set stone on top of each other and it all falls down. Now this was an interesting one. This rock did not come from that mountain. It came from the mountain on the other side behind it. How do you get that from there over here? Let's have the tour guide show you, talk to you about it.
You see? Locals, 20 years ago. That was at the main square of this town. So, and you know, they were trying to move in the road 2 hours.
How far
A
did
lot
you go?
of people.
They couldn't move it at all. Oh.
So, they decide to looking for a Indian shaman, no? Shaman.
Spiritual leader to come and pray on it. And they were able to move it just a little bit more. Not much. So heavy.
You know, they made a ritual. You know, they made a ritual to the mountains, to the Pachamama. After that, they could move in the road. Because here in Ollantaytambo, you see the mountain? That was the quarries. From that mountain, they transported stones. Imagine how difficult it was for people to transport stones. You know, how to cut, how to split stones. That's why, you know, once Spaniards arrived Cusco, still people were building this area. You know, they didn't finish to build this sacred place. Because remember how difficult it was to split stones, transporting. I'm gonna shop stones. There are down there, more stones. How many people died?
So how many people did it take to move the stone? Like when they
The
did
scholars believe 40, 60 people.
that, 40 to 60 people.
Yes,
And they would put them on like logs or right?
exactly.
And then they had like balls of steel or balls of iron.
No.
Okay, so let me show you a picture. He's about to show you this. So they put them up. There's all the people, and there's the stone, and they would roll it up with on these logs. Sorry, other way. There we go. These logs, they pull it up the hill on ramps till they actually get it up into place. So you can see all these different images. So this one is them setting it in place and carving it. This is how they do it when they don't have a ramp. And then this is just a closer look to that ramp, the wood ramp that they'd create. So these are assumptions because we don't know exactly how it actually all happened. This is the best we can find. Another thing to see is right here. They use levers. They use sticks that they would have to lever it up. They put the stick in, they push it up. They put the stick in, they push it up, while others were dragging it with ropes. Okay, let's keep going.
More stones.
So that's the mountain he was talking about, way down there. And if you look right here,
On the ancient road.
this is an ancient road that they used to drag those stones
No, no,
and
no,
then
no,
bring
no,
them
no,
up
this
this
is
very, very
This is the
steep
small
hill.
street.
Yeah, I see the road.
Some people like to say it's aliens,
Down there was too.
So they got them from.
not aliens.
That's one.
Very strong people.
Yeah.
Probably some very strong people. Oh, I won't go there. That's the rock right there.
Just getting it from there to here.
It's like a big slide. Slide it down.
Yeah, see down there.
Finished them or they just broken?
Now this is interesting.
This true.
See that image? I have the image too, but
You see?
you show
You
it
see the
pretty
pumas?
well.
Sir?
That's what it used to be. There used to be 3 pumas.
And in the middle, the Andean cross, the Chacana.
I can see the edge of that.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
See right,
They just
right here.
Spanish broken.
It shows the.
Yeah?
sucks.
You see? They were
Cross.
building. Right here.
Pause this. We don't need to see the rest of it. I'll just show you it from here. But I did have it marked until a second ago. Let me see if I can find it again really fast. Oh, I just had it. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to pause this and find it so I'm not wasting your time. Look at that. 1 second after I paused it. It's right here. So it used to have 3 pumas. These are the crosses, which are actually right the next page over. Well, a few pages before. A lot of pages before. You think I'd know this book a little bit better than I do. Oh, here we go. This is the cross. This is the Inca cross. And all these have something to do with parts of their life. The symbol was very symbolic. Okay, and on to the next one.
Oh, wow.
So this video shows how straight
It's just how level
each of the sides are. Completely level, completely straight. The carving, you can't even really see where they carved out the stones. Most likely, though, the rain would have, all the abrasion from the rain over 1,000 years would probably washed out those, the chisel marks. But that is eerily straight. How they do it, no one knows. We use it with modern day tools, but how they do it now, how they did it back then, no one knows. Okay, up next, one last view. I think we're coming to the end of this journey. So I want to give you one last view of the valley from this angle, from way up here. I'm trying to get rid of that time display. Keep going, show them out. So this will give you a better image of what it all looked like together. And there's that mountain way over there. Right there. And you can see more tiered agriculture right here. And then a whole valley full of tiered agriculture. Okay, let's pause this and move on to the next one. These are just some of the walls. See, like again, niches in the walls And this is in the tiered agriculture. This was not up on the temple. This was down between the tiers. So they had a lot of belief and a lot of religion, just not organized religion. Or maybe they did, because Manuel is just telling us what he knows, what he's been taught, but who really knows? This is the village that's down below. Now, coming near the end of the day, we jump on a train and we make our way towards, what's it? Casa Caliente? No, not Casa. Agua Caliente. So, water. Hot. Caliente. Caliente. Hot? Beautiful. I'm gonna need to work on my Spanish. Okay. But inside the train was actually quite nice. So this is Peru rail. It gives you the ability to have a near every angle perspective of the surrounding area. So you can see all the mountains through the windows on the roof, and also right next to you. It was quite nice. Now, once you get to this,
They can also calculate.
Okay, now you see what's here. We got cactuses, we have very little trees, we have plains, even upside on top of the mountains. Not many trees, more of just grass. But then, as the trip continues, they pass this big, huge rock wall. We drive into a tunnel, because on the other side, is the jungle. We're getting closer to the Amazon. As we get closer to Machu Picchu, we actually get closer to the Amazon. And so the terrain completely changes. Now, you don't see it, you would have seen it in the last video. You might see it here as well, like up a little bit. But you'll see that we have snow-capped mountains. Now, if you also look, you're going to see how the people actually live on the side of the railroad property. And they're the villages.
It's quite the change in environment.
Little paddle boats. The cows stuck in the mud.
Must be weird living near the.
Us to enjoy ourselves, so we went back to the caboose and rocked out to some music. It's really interesting. It doesn't sound like Incan type of music. No. This was American music. A lot of the music they actually play in Peru was American, or it was Peruvianized. Improved the Peruvian style. Further in the back of the caboose, and you get to sit on the end of the caboose and take pictures and talk and be out in the fresh air. It was great. So it definitely didn't stop me from hanging off the side of the train and taking pictures of the environment around us. It was absolutely beautiful to go there to see all of this. And this was all this train going just beside that river that's down there the whole way. So we got this view like the whole time we were driving on the train. And even walking in the back of the caboose. Oh yeah. Okay. So a lot of different things. Now, this is the city. This is Agua Caliente. Now, this actually has a river running through it. And if you came to this village, you'd actually find out that everyone that lives here is about servicing Machu Picchu. This city has no cars. It has no roads going into it. Everything that's in this city was brought to you by the train. Everything that they build, everything that they do here is all about the tourists that go up on top of the hill. Which I will leave you with this. It was really sad to hear that the government of Peru may actually try to shut down Machu Picchu. Because if they do, this city is gone. There is no agriculture, there's no industry in this city except for tourism. Machu Picchu is up on the hill. We will go there tomorrow. I have one more thing I want to show you. So you know in Paris how they have the bridge where you put locks. When you have a loved one, you put the lock, you write your name on it, you put the lock on the bridge, and you throw away the key. Well, this right here is the same thing. They have this here in Peru. So, oh, one last thing before we get there. These are the national flowers of Peru. They are actually a hallucinogen. So they will actually make you hallucinate if you take them the right way. I asked if I could have some so I could press it in a book. And my tour guide laughed at me thinking I was going to use it for a hallucinogen. No, I just wanted to press it in my book. I thought it was very beautiful. Okay, this is the bridge. And these are some of the locks there. It was not the only one. There was like the whole span of the bridge had hundreds of locks on them. And at some time, most likely someone comes by and clips off a bunch of them and throws them away. But all of our keys are down below in the water. So it's a great little tradition for Paris, for Peru, both starting with P, and maybe some other P countries, but for all over the place. So that's our lock and that's our key. Threw away the key, locked up the lock on the bridge, and that's it. So that is Peru, day 3 on my travel. And we got to see, again, Pisaq. We got to see, what was it called? It was called Ollantaytambo. And we got to see Aguas Calientes, which is the city below Machu Picchu. Agua being water, there's a river running through it, and Caliente, I think it means hot, but I gotta check that out. I will check that out as we go, after we go. So thank you so much for joining us on this Adventure Box podcast and brought to you by Historical Conquest. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.